issue 5 of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow here, which again, the covers, the art, all of this is great. But what
Bilquis.
you see that really nice dinosaur head. Well, the color's fantastic too from Matt Lopes with all this. As it looks like Ruthie and Supergirl are falling into a dinosaur's mouth. What we find out is on our travels here is when they get close enough is that Crim of the Yellow Hills has this little orb, a Mordu globe is what it's called, that he is able to kind of conjure up. If we know things, it's kind of magic in a way, can pose problems to the super family,
right?
The L's. What this thing ables to do is a little orb sits there and it expands and it sucks up Ruthie and Supergirl with the orb. As they get close enough to Crim, like he immediately just pulls it out and it like sucks them up and it shrinks and it pops. And what this little orb has done then is it has transported them to another planet.
Okay.
So they've gotten close enough to Crim, and Crim pulls out his one trick in his bag that he has.
It's a portable portal.
It is. But the thing about this planet that they've landed on is, if you can see kind of there in the background, Mike, there are giant dinosaurs and just these huge creatures. But the sun there, it's green. That's not good for the super family because it's like a kryptonite sun. So it just weakens them of all their powers and slowly just kills them.
Oh, wow. Well, that's not good.
We find out as they're walking through there, like Supergirl brings this up herself as she's talking to Ruthie about this planet. She's like, yeah, somebody really hates Cal, talking about Superman. Like they built this planet just to like house him.
They built the planet?
Like they created this they created a portal like to this planet.
Oh, I see.
Just to kind of like
that makes more sense.
To do the same thing to him.
Yeah.
And Ruthie's like, wow, like how long, like what happened there? And she goes, well, thankfully the Justice League was able to come like rescue him from here.
Sure.
And Ruthie's like, oh, okay, that's great. So
Thanks,
how long,
Martian Manhunter.
How long was he able to last? Because they're talking about how once the sun goes down, her powers can kind of come back a bit and they can leave this planet. But like she can't fly, she can't do anything right now because it's zapping her of all of her powers with this green sun and just slowly kind of like irradiating her and like almost, it's like making her weak. It's like slowly
I would
kind of
think
debilitating
it's just like
her.
slowly draining her of her ability. Like it kind of like me today. It's just slowly draining my powers over time.
And so,
or life in of itself.
Ruthie asks Supergirl, like, how long did your cousin last then before the Justice League saved him? And Supergirl goes, 45 minutes.
Oh.
And he says it was the most excruciating 45 minutes he's ever lived through. And then she looks at the sun and goes, and we have 10 hours.
That is
so.
It's not great.
It's not great at all.
So, can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
If she hides like in the shadows, is that okay?
So that's what they're going to try to do.
That's what I thought. All right.
Ruthie takes Supergirl over to like this shadow area. Like it still has an effect on her.
Yeah, sure.
And it's still sucking all the like power and energy out of her. But at least when she's not in the direct contact,
maybe it's
not
a little
as bad.
slower.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
But while Ruthie's there with that sword that she has as payment that she was kind of, using around and waiting, she talks about how like they're just trying to let Supergirl just kind of sleep because there's nothing else she can do. Like she has no power. She just has to like, suffer through it. And that's what she's doing there. Like you'll see at times that she's just laying there just like shaking, like not feeling well, just suffering through this. But Ruthie kind of stands guard with sword while these creatures come by, these just like dinosaur looking beasts. And she has to like fight off these creatures with no help from Supergirl because Supergirl can't do anything.
Yeah. Supergirl's a mess.
There's a part where she's able to finally slay this creature. Like she has to like do some maneuvering, like move around, but she's able to slay the creature and she decides to like lay next to Supergirl then while she rests to kind of still like be by her and still watch over if anything else comes across. These pterodactyl-like creatures, that's the best way to put them, start feeding on the dead carcass that's there by them and notice, oh, there's other life forms here too. And then they start going after Ruthie and Supergirl. And as Ruthie grabs her sword to try to do whatever she can to hopefully save them, we see the X-ray vision or the heat vision just kind of like shoot off right through the monsters. And what we see then is Supergirl seen him and goes, "Hey, was that it's a effing bird? No, it's a plane, or no, it's Supergirl." And she like just passes back out again.
Yeah.
Like the last little bit of energy she had, she used
with their laser eyes.
To save them both from those creatures before she passes back out. And you did mention that you liked how all the callbacks to the old Superman verbiage. So I figured you liked that.
No, I love that.
And she passes back out. Eventually, as time keeps passing on, Supergirl decides, like, I need water. Like, we need to get to that lake. Like, I can't do this anymore. I just hurt so much.
Sure.
And Ruthie's still just trying to explain to her, like, we can't do anything while the sun's out like this. As dawn's starting to get closer and they're starting to, like, hopefully get closer to the day being over for them to be able to get out of this, another giant, like, T-Rex monster kind of shows up.
Yeah, that thing's scary looking.
It is. And it does a lot of damage, and it gets close to even biting Supergirl. As they're waiting off, she just thinks, like, I need 45 minutes. Like, that's it. Come on. Like, we're almost so close to the sun being down. And she essentially just, like, and that's when I learned that far off gods are fine for prayer. Where is this at? Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Oh, Ruthie's talking about how, like, you know, she prayed for them to get help. And she's like, and I figured out that, like, far off gods are fine for prayer, and I judge no person who seeks comfort in them. But you're better off relying on the staunch will of a good woman.
Yeah.
And so Supergirl has that moment where she's like, and she just, like, has another, like, let everything she has kind of stored in her to kind of, like, fend off the monster one more time. And is that where I ended it on that one? I might have ended it on that slide. Yeah. And destroys the monster. And then thankfully, the sun has come back down. So she can let her
start getting stuff back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let herself re-heal. And they're like, all right, we know where he's at now. We're going to go get him this time.
Okay.
Like, he knocked us out of the way.
What's to keep him from doing that again, though?
Good thing you asked that, Mike.
Okay. All right.
And we'll get to that. You also asked last week if we would get a little more like backstory in a way of what happened to her and her planet.
Yeah.
And we do. And that's actually what's going to happen in the next issue. But for issue 5, to close out real quick. So essentially they show up to see Krim, try to hunt him down. He gives the Mordu orb that pops and sends them off to a different planet with the green sun. Thankfully, Ruthie, through her wit and determination, along with Supergirl's, are able to survive and make it through until sundown. And now they're able to fly away and go hunt him down.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.